What's up, guys? This is Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we're back with another Michigan recruiting report. We're going to be talking barbecue at the Big House visitors. Before we do that, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free. And if you want more in-depth, exclusive information coming out of the barbecue at the Big House and event coverage, head over to the Wolverine.com. Use the promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months. Using the promo code UM1, again, that gets you insider information. It's a perfect time to sign up with the barbecue at the Big House, just days away. So one of Michigan's most important recruiting events will feature more than 60 prospects in Ann Arbor. We're going to talk about the 5 most important. We're going to start off with the 2025 class. We're going with top 100 wide receiver Jerome Myles out of Utah. So Jerome Myles is a bit of a newer target for Michigan. The Wolverines offered him during the spring evaluation period, but his stock has just completely blown up. This was a kid that was a 3-star prospect when Michigan offered. Now he's a top 60 recruit nationally, according to the On3 industry ranking. Now, he was committed to Ole Miss. He recently decommitted. He took official visits to Utah and Texas A&M last month. Utah considered the heavy leader on the On3 recruiting prediction machine, but he's keeping things open. He's not just going to suddenly commit to the home state program, and he's keeping the door wide open for Michigan. The Wolverines have a prime opportunity to really make their pitch to him. I think that an easy sell is, look, we need more size in the wide receiver room. Michigan hasn't signed a wide receiver taller than 6'2" since the 2022 recruiting cycle. That's a very long time. Now, they do have Jacob Washington, who fits that description, already committed this cycle, but you can never have enough big-bodied guys, and you still need more. One over the course of 3 cycles is still an easy selling point to Jerome Myles. I don't think, recruiting Myles will have any effect on Washington. So I think we'll know a lot more about where Michigan stands coming out of this visit. This will be his first time on campus. He is looking at other programs like USC and LSU and Penn State. I think this is a kid that was a bit of a late riser, so he's going to take his recruitment into the fall. And I think Michigan, if everything goes well this weekend, will have a chance to get him back for an official visit for a game. All right, let's stick with the wide receiver position. Michigan bringing in another top 100 2025 wide receiver in Andrew Marsh. Marsh is favored to go to Michigan. I have a prediction in for the Wolverines and still feel confident there. You see, Michigan has the lead on the On3 RPM with an 86.6% chance of landing him. Our VP of recruiting, Steve Wiltfong, also has a Michigan prediction in. So, we're feeling confident here. Washington's still trying to make a move. USC, Kentucky, those are some others involved. You see Texas and Oklahoma are featured on the On3 RPM, but both schools seem to be out of this race. So the door is wide open here for Michigan to close with Andrew Marsh as he's looking to make his decision in August. If you remember, Marsh was initially set to make his decision in November, but now we're continuing to hear that August is becoming more and more likely. So again, if Michigan checks all the boxes this weekend, I think the Wolverines will have a chance to close, and Marsh gives Michigan even more flexibility in the wide receiver room, a guy that has a chance to play on the outside or the inside, doesn't have that elite speed, but a great player, overall elite route runner, a guy that makes plays in the air, excellent body control, just checks a ton of boxes. So Marsh would be a terrific land for Michigan. Another Texas prospect coming in the 2025 recruiting class is on 300 cornerback Jaden Sanders out of Kilgore, Texas. So not to be confused with DJ Sanders, the defensive lineman, which people have seemed to confuse him with, but Jaden Sanders, the on 300 cornerback out of Kilgore, Texas. So Jaden Sanders, right now, look, Michigan is the leader on the On3 recruiting prediction machine with a 93.8% chance of landing him. I have a pick in. I feel good heading into the weekend. I think Michigan will have every opportunity to close as Sanders is looking to make his decision literally the week after the barbecue at the Big House. Oklahoma State is the biggest threat to Michigan right now. I think more so just because it's closer to home. Michigan is obviously the superior program. If they can make him and his family feel really comfortable at Michigan, there's no reason why the Wolverines shouldn't be able to close with him. And look, he's a big need as well. Michigan has 2 DBs committed right now, but both aren't corners. Kanoa Winston is a nickel all the way. Ivan Taylor is a safety all the way. So you need a corner in this class. Jaden Sanders was one of the biggest rankings risers. He has a ton of upside. Michigan really likes his size, really likes his length. So that's why he's such a critical target. Also, again, because you have no other real corner candidates that are favoring Michigan. You have a lot of guys that are potential flip guys, but haven't built a lot of momentum with. You have to land Sanders and have at least one piece on the board at the corner position. All right, let's head over to the 2026 recruiting class and talk about top 100 running back Savon Haider out of Virginia. Now, Savon Haider is a guy we've talked a lot about here recently, and rightfully so. I mean, he's one of the best running backs in the country, the number 2 running back, number 32 overall prospect nationally, puts him right in 5-star territory. Right now, I think Michigan and Georgia are the 2 schools leading this race, with Clemson, Ohio State, and a few others also involved. He has a tremendous relationship with new running backs coach Tony Alford, who previously recruited him at Ohio State. Alford offered Haider as soon as he got to Ann Arbor. Haider rewarded him with a visit in the spring, so this will be his second trip to Ann Arbor. He already has a pre-existing relationship with Brady Hart as well. The 2 had a chance to compete with each other at the Future 50 event in Florida last month. So I think Michigan's doing a fantastic job here, and we'll have a chance to continue to point the needle upwards in the Haider recruitment. And the last recruit on our list is also a 2026 prospect, and we're going local with top 100 wide receiver CJ Sadler out of Detroit Cass Tech. So CJ Sadler has been on recruiting radars since forever. I feel like I've been covering this kid since he was going into his 8th grade year. He's been on the recruiting scene for a long time, but I absolutely love CJ Sadler. He is one of my favorite prospects in the 2026 recruiting class. You see, Michigan has the early lead on the On3 recruiting prediction machine with a 90.6% chance of landing him. Now, a few other schools have been involved here. The SECs like Alabama and LSU are some other players. You have Michigan State that's trying its best, but has never been too much of a true threat. Colorado is another school that has been involved with CJ Sadler, but I think Michigan's doing a great job recruiting him. Look, Michigan hasn't landed the number 1 in-state recruit since Will Johnson. They're kind of due for one here. But CJ Sadler, absolutely explosive, versatile athlete. He's listed as a wide receiver. I think he projects kind of as a Tavon Austin type at the next level. He's a guy that can move around. You can line him up in the slot. He can stretch the field vertically. He plays much bigger than his size. He wins balls in the air in 7-on-7. I had a chance to see him quite a bit on the circuit over the last couple of off seasons. He's also a guy that can play some corner if you really need him. He has that dog mentality that everybody desperately desires, just a really quiet, cool confidence about him, and just an explosive, dynamic playmaker. He can return kicks. He can return punts. He can play wildcat quarterback as well. There's so much to really like about CJ Sadler. He's a must land for Michigan next cycle, and one of the most important recruits coming in for the barbecue at the Big House. So for more on Michigan recruiting and the barbecue at the Big House, head over to thewolverine.com. Use the promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months over at thewolverine.com. Get insider information today. And also like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.